Hello, let's talk about results of semifinal 2. I have to say, there were a number of surprises, positive ones I must say. I didn't get a ton of predictions right. I think I got maybe 7 out of 9. But let's talk about some really, really good news for Latvia and Georgia. We know that these are the countries that have had the longest time out of the grand final, and both of them have made it through. The biggest shock must have been Latvia, and I don't think that you could find somebody in the press center who would have been very sure that they would have made it through. I'm going to be very curious to see how they finished and what place they finished in the final score. So if anybody thought that this would be those countries last year because they had been repeatedly missing out on the final, doesn't seem like it. It's definitely at least a reason to come back for next year. Beyond that, I have to say that the majority of the other qualifiers seemed pretty likely to me. I will say though that when we saw the performances tonight, I did have some doubts about how some of them were coming across live. One of them was definitely Estonia, quite out of key, unfortunately. And I mean, it's obviously not the kind of song that, you know, is really selling itself on vocals. At least we know that the Eurovision audience tends to gravitate towards outside the box party songs, so in that case it's not too much of a surprise that they made it through anyway, and it wouldn't be the first time that a song made it through with less than perfect vocals. Another one that didn't seem to quite come through the same way was Armenia, and it was looking possibly a bit doubtful, especially when they were the last to be announced as a qualifier. Yeah, I think we were expecting like a, you know, Moldova 2022 moment with them that didn't quite come through in the same way. But it is fair to say that the nature of the song is still quite different from everything else that we have this year, so I could see why it would still be appealing to the audience. Now, earlier today I was talking about a song that I was concerned about, even though I had more feelings that it would be going through, and that was Belgium. And it seems like, for the most part, that was a song that a lot of people expected to be advancing to the final. I feel like if we were talking about how the scoring worked from a few years ago, then this would be a little bit more of an obvious choice, and it probably would have made it through. Unfortunately, that's not the case. This is what we're working with now, and yeah, I guess we'll have to rework our thinking for future years. I've stolen a seat because I'm tired of walking around like a fool. So one country that made it through that I put out on my list of qualifiers is Austria. As I mentioned earlier, there were a lot of up-tempo dance pop songs in this semi-final rather. I didn't think we were going to get them all, and that was the one that I figured was sort of below the standard of the rest of them. I also put Malta in the non-qualifiers, and after seeing tonight's performances, I definitely would have put Malta in because I think that you know, she really gave it everything that she had. I think the song is just a bit more interesting than some of the other ones, but that's how it goes sometimes. And then beyond that, we're looking at Greece, Switzerland, Norway, Netherlands, and Israel, which were all more or less expected. And yeah, that's been our semi-final 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how you did with your predictions. If you liked this video, I hope that you come back for more so that we can keep chatting about Eurovision, and the best way to do that would be to subscribe to the channel. You can also check out the Buy Me a Coffee in the description. I hope to see you next time. Take care.